Yo, so guys, Zephyr here. Now earlier today, Jinshi was officially announced to be coming to Wuthering Waves. She's no longer a leak anymore. And with that, that means that we actually got a good look on her dedicated weapon and the official stats. And we also got a cool character trailer for her. It was really great. If you haven't seen it, it's super hype for 1.1. But anyways, with that though, that means that, of course, Jinshi is officially coming to Wuthering Waves, and she's going to be the first banner that comes out after Jiyan. For us to be not behind when Jinshi first comes out, and I'm sure everybody hates the day one grind, it is always recommended for you to grind out the materials beforehand. And yeah, let's begin. Now for the first material, Jinshi actually needs these LG Tacit cores. Now you get these guys from killing that weird bird thing down here, the Axie. This guy right here. So by killing this guy, you will get this drop. So do keep in mind that this grind is for the level 90 grind. This is not going to be for the most likely level 60, level 70 we currently all are right now. But with that, it is still good to pre-farm and be pretty much done with it before other stuff comes, you know, Shangli and all that. But anyways, so get to grinding. For a second material, you're going to need these Howler cores. Now, if you've been playing for a while, or since launch, I'd say, you should have a good amount of these saved up already. So assuming that you're not just a new player jumping in right at 1.1, you should already have a majority of these already farmed out. However, if you are going to lack some, it is good just to be on the safe side to farm it out a little bit. But to actually get these materials, it's actually pretty simple. You get it from these guys here. All four of these guys actually do drop them. And, you know, pick your fancy, I guess. Again, if you've been playing this game, you should have a lot of these already saved up from just killing these guys in general for your echo farming. So, if you do need more though, just make sure you know that they can drop from any one of these guys. Now for the Ascension Flower, it is actually not farmable right now. That releases with the new area in 1.1. And I've seen some misguidance or confusion about being able to farm it right now by a bug. But no, that's not the correct thing. That is actually a placeholder for the said new flower. So just FYI, there is nothing to farm right now for flower. Don't get confused. Moving on to her skill upgrade materials. Same thing as the flower. Her skill main material is actually not in the game right now. That is to be assumed from the new boss coming in with 1.1. So right now we also cannot farm that out. Jinshi's skill upgrades also take Howler cores, so just another reason to make sure you do farm them up a lot. You will be taking at least 60. Again, with this, the more the better. I'm sure down the line we will be using Howler cores even more. So don't think of it a bad thing to farm them a lot, or just farm a majority of them right now. Now, one of the last materials you need for a skill is these wave-worn residues. You're going to need a lot of these too. So, for example, you're going to need about 67 of these gold ones, 55 of the purples, 28 of the blue, and then 25 of the green. However, do make sure that's not counting you having to convert them up the higher tier. So, in reality, you'll be farming a lot more just to get to, you know, the gold 67 of them and, you know, the 55 of the purple and all that. So it's going to be a lot of farming. That's why it's good to do this now than not as the 1.1 comes out. And one last thing, money. All of this is going to cost about 2.2 million credits or shell credits. So make sure you get your money up before you do any of this, or you're going to have no money to even do any of these upgrades. So now that the material part of this video is done, I do want to mention the whole echo situation. Now obviously her best in slot is going to be Spectro Damage or the Celestial Light set. I've seen some people say about using attack, but I don't think that's really anything good right now for what we have. Mostly for a main DPS where you would want said bonus for damage than like a scaling attack. I don't know. I'm sure there's some kind of math out there that you can do where I could prove where, oh well, this is better than this. However, just right now, just don't do that. Just go the dedicated set. And if somewhere down the line that it does become true that, oh, you know, Lingering Tunes is better than a dedicated element set. So, but with the set, I've seen also more talk about a farming Axie as you do farm for its material, which I think is something that you shouldn't really worry about. If it drops, I'd say. I wouldn't really beat yourself up over it about, you know, trying to grind out crit rate, crit damage on it. So if you do get it, great. Just save it until 1.1 comes out, and if, you know, stuff is true that, you know, the new 1.1 boss is going to be her best in slot for her echo, then great. And if not, then you can just pop this on her, or you can even pop it on for the meantime, if anything. Let's say you're not getting lucky with your drops and you want to play her, just pop her or pop this echo on. I mean, just use it as a placeholder until either the boss finally drops what you need, or again, if it doesn't seem to be the case and actually is it for her. Now, talk weapons to farm for Jinshi if you aren't going to plan to get her 5-star dedicated weapon. Obviously, that's going to be your best in slot. So if you aren't planning to get that, then I would say honestly the battle pass weapon is really good. Now people, I don't know if people are really sleeping on battle pass weapons, but mostly with these crit rate stats, I'd say is really important for your account, because a free crit stat, like crit rate stat, is always good to have on your characters, because crit rate is super important in this game, even more so in this game specifically, I feel. And so having this, mostly for the actual bonus it gives, increased attack by 4% upon dealing basic attack damage or heavy damage stacked with a 5 times. I think that's gonna be a good little boost in damage, not only with the crit rate and the attack, and then of course the even more attack you get. Now obviously if you got lucky and you were able to pull on the banner and you got, let's say, like the dedicated weapon or the 5-star, like the razor, this could also be a good placeholder, just because 5-star weapons have incredibly huge scaling attack just as base, and then having even more attack to scale onto that could be crazy. However, I do wish that all the 5 stars had crit rate scaling. That would bring their value even higher, I feel. However, some of them don't. This one doesn't, sadly. The increased energy regen and all that, and resin skill and liberation is all good. Again, it's stuff that will help your Jinshi. It's just, may it be optimal? I don't know. However, again, if you're lucky enough to have this, I definitely do recommend putting on her. I've also seen some talk of using actual Gion's weapon for her too, but I feel like if you were to pull Gion's weapon, you would have Gion. I don't know why someone would pull Gion's weapon just to not have Gion, but I mean, if you have it, you can use as like a swap thing. You could definitely put it on her and see it do damage. So just make sure that if you are doing this, you do dedicate the weapon to it. But anyways, that's it for me. I'm super excited for 1.1. That is like coming in about a week and a half, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next video. Bye bye.